thank you so much for making yourself available, Deputy President of the Republic of South Africa, Paul Mashatile, for talking to TRT World. Let's begin with your arrival in the Turkish capital, Ankara. You've met with your counterpart, that's the Turkish Vice President, Mr. Cevdet Yılmaz. You held a tete-a-tete, as well as bilateral meetings, and particularly you co-chaired the Binational Joint Commission. Now, can you talk about the priorities and some of the agreements that were signed, and how will these agreements, uplift or boost the bilateral relation between Turkey and South Africa up to a sort of strategic level?
Thank you very much, Usman. Firstly, let me say that the Binational Commission was very successful. The reason why we had to start there is because the Binational Commission was initiated in 2012, but was never inaugurated. So we took this opportunity now with the Vice President to do that. You are quite right. I had a tete-a-tete with him just to look at the number of other issues, and we went on to chair the Binational Commission. Now, there are a number of areas we looked at the Binational Commission. One was on energy, higher education, science and technology, agriculture, sport, arts and culture, of course, trade and investment. I was accompanied there by the our Minister of Foreign Affairs, we call it Minister of International Relations, Minister of Trade and Investments, and also the Minister of Tourism, Minister of Defense, and Deputy Ministers of Higher Education, Sports, Arts and Culture, Agriculture. It was quite a big, huge delegation. I was quite happy that we had that opportunity because, as you can see, 2012 is long ago. Because by inaugurating this BNC, it means we have now set a foundation to start advancing stronger bilateral relations, but in particular trade and investment cooperation. And that's why we're able to then deal with a number of disagreements that were signed. I also had an opportunity to pay courtesy visit to President Erdogan, conveyed well wishes from my president, and he confirmed that he will be attending the G20 next month in Johannesburg. So it was really a very successful trip, in my view, that we're able to reset our relations for a stronger future working together. And after that, I had to come to the Turkey Africa Business Forum.
Yes, which you first attended the presentation, country presentation of South Africa. You also delivered a closing remark at the closing ceremony of this Türkiye Africa Business and Economic Forum. What are the top economic priorities, and what are your takeaways from this forum? How will this forum shape a roadmap that will benefit both South Africa and Turkey?
It's a very important platform, particularly because it brings business people together. These business people, both from Turkey and South Africa and the African continent, of course, are able to enter into partnerships to work together. So it's a huge opportunities for them as well. We as government, we are creating an enabling environment. You may recall that one of the issues raised was the issue of incentives, regulations. Some of the people say, look, we want to do business, particularly in South Africa. We want to invest, but there are some regulations that are a bit of a challenge. We are addressing those issues. So it's both ways, mutually beneficial for both sides. And that's why we see the Republic of Turkey as a very important strategic partner for us as South Africa, but more importantly for the continent.
According to facts and figures from international organizations, South Africa is one of the countries with the largest unemployment, especially among the youth. So you believe sort of this investment, value addition, trade partnership will create more jobs for the youth in order to, also uplift those youths and provide solution to the unemployment challenge in South Africa.
In our country, unemployment affects mainly the youth. And therefore, when you put emphasis on training, you're actually benefiting the youth in all these sectors. In fact, the youth is our biggest target at the moment. If we can get more opportunities for the youth, the better for the country. And really these investments will exactly achieve that, be able to get these young people into employment. But they need to be properly trained, they need to have the requisite skills, because some of them go to colleges and university, but they don't study exactly what the economy needs now. So we need to factor that in, make sure these young people get these skills. It's a big priority for us.
Deputy President, let's talk about South Africa's G20 presidency. Now, South Africa has assumed the G20 presidency, a historic first for an African country. However, amid a pivotal moment as well as challenging time, because trade wars and subsequent tit-for-tat among countries have been wreaking havoc on the global economy as well as trade. Within this context, South Africa is facing a daunting task ahead of the G20 summit, which is due to hold in Johannesburg next month, November. How is South Africa preparing to address this challenge, convince world leaders, and especially the U.S., presumably the U.S. president will be attending, to agree on a rule-based multilateral trade partnership that will bring stability to the global economy?
In fact, that's going to be one of the biggest agenda items, to look at how we reform multilateral institutions, including the financial development institutions. The preparations are going very well. You are quite right that President Trump has promised to come. Maybe Vice President Vance is the one who will come. But the good thing is that the U.S. is now participating once again, following the visit by the President, which is good. Yeah, we actually are going to be handing over to them. And when the President met with President Trump, he said to him, I don't want to hand over to an empty chair. So that's why you should be there as the United States, because we are handing over to you. But we want to make sure that given this opportunity, by the time we hand over to the U.S., we must say Africa has benefited. We are actually very grateful that we've got this opportunity as the first African country to be able to host the G20. We immediately decided that let's do it for Africa. We said, look, solidarity, equality, sustainability for the continent, not just for us. So even though many countries in the continent are not members of the G20 per se, we thought they can come as observers and begin to participate. But whatever we may see as benefits during this period, where we are the president must be for the benefit of the African continent.
Okay, and this will also elaborate, of course, what we call the people-centered development as well as solution-oriented G20 summit. Thank you so much, Mr. Deputy President. I know your time is at a premium, like I mentioned in the beginning, so we thank you so much for providing your time to talk to TRT World.
Thank you, Usman, for the opportunity. It's important that we communicate what we do. Thank you very much.